Hello, good afternoon, welcome. This is going to be episode 4 of the Cayman cruise, and it is going to be talking about evolutions. This is definitely not the second take, and where I messed up on the first take and got transformations, but we'll leave that be. So, evolutions. What do evolutions mean? Now, it could be many things. It could be evolutions in terms of strength. It could be evolutions in terms of, in this case, I believe it would be car builds, for example. So let's go to manufacture. We'll scroll down to, how do I scroll faster? It doesn't actually matter. There we go. No, it's even slower. Let's go to Nissan, I guess. Let's see. All right. So, for example, the Group 4 is a little bit smaller than the Group 3 GTR. And then you get to the Group 2, and it's even smaller, and it's a lot more faster. Also, look at the anime liveries. Wow. Also, Boston Uprising. Quite a team. Anyways, what do I mean by evolutions in general? For me, in general, the first thing that comes up when I think of evolutions is, of course, Digimon. Just Digimon. It's just something about Digimon that really I'm happy about. Again, I've watched Digimon. Where do we leave off? Ah, yes, Blue Moon Speedway. Fantastic. Gonna be a fantastic FIA race for the, I believe it was the Nations Cup. But yeah, Evolutions, quite the interesting little tale with them, where something goes from being going from smaller to bigger. But to be perfectly honest, that's all it really matters. If there's a lot of different types of evolutions in the world, either being work evolution or transformative evolution, as you see right here in terms of body shape and weight and such and power to get even stronger. Now, sometimes evolutions do, make something stronger, but more in a defensive way per se, rather than more progressive in a sense. So, like, for example, I know this is a Pokemon reference, but whatever. Caterpie or Weedle into Metapod and Kakuna. For example, they may be stronger, but they're weaker offensively and they're more of a defensive type of evolution. And then when they finally, quote, bloom, that's when they can get a lot stronger. And, well, stronger is, I guess, a term, even though they're sort of weak unless Beedrill gets a Mega Evolution. But regardless, evolutions are very fantastic in ways. But also, in terms of, like I said, Digimon, for example, I know some Digimon do tend to evolve into anything smaller and or bigger. Also, did I turn this down? Again, I keep forgetting if I turn this down or not, but actually, it might just be my headphones. Hold on. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now my headphones are fine. Anyways, yeah, in terms of certain Digimon, when they can transform to either something big or something smaller. Also, I'm gonna let you see a car a little bit. But, that's one of the fun parts, I guess, of some of the games that they choose to do for Digimon. Where in Cyber Sleuth and Hackers, remember, you really get to pick and choose what you want to do with their evolutions once you get to a certain point in the game, when you have all the abilities and all the, little things that you can do to change their personality and change it for the better, or, well, in certain cases, you may want to hinder yourself to make it more of a challenge. But in Digimon World Next Order, or any of the Digimon World games, you cannot choose your evolution line. Well, not at the beginning at least, but it's sort of fun, like at the beginning of the game, to sort of see what your Digimon's going to Digivolve into, because you have absolutely no idea. Like, you have absolutely no idea what you're going to evolve. So yeah, just the terms of things that you really never know, and that's, I guess, the joy of the game as well, except for the fact that it took me 6 generations to beat the game the first time. So, oops, I guess, I'm not that good at the game, but even I considered returning it at that point. I didn't want to deal with the game. I bought it for $60, I just didn't want to return it. I really didn't. It just wasn't my cup of tea, so when it came to it, and I just grinded and waited 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden I started watching whose videos was it? Mr. Wolfie, I believe his name was, and had the guides on making the Digimon stronger by however means necessary, or not however means necessary, but like grinding in a way, because the game is very odd where traditionally you'd grind on enemies to gain EXP. In this game, you'd grind on enemies to get stats, sort of like how in Pokemon, but Pokemon doesn't show your effort values unless you try to go and look at the effort values through a special either vendor or, well, just popping into PK Hex. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So when it comes to next order, like I said, when you battle, you gain evolution points, or well, yeah, evolution points, but also what is it? Strength and whatever. So it's sort of grinding through the day to get what you want in the end if you really want it. Or again, just look up spreadsheets online. But real life doesn't have those. Unfortunately, it's quite the shame, really. But yeah, I don't know. It was just something off the top of my head that I just wanted to speak about. I'm not actually done talking about evolution, though, because there's more in the form of the anime rather than the games. And the anime handles it differently. Again, it's just more automatic, and you're watching it, and it's more automatic where they go from one stage to the other to the other to the other to the other throughout the series. But it's not necessarily them getting stronger in terms of power from themselves. It's more getting stronger for the what was it, the people around them, since most of the Digimon evolve through, the friendship that they have with their tamer instead of necessarily, consuming data like other evil Digimon do in that way. So, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent. The anime is pretty good in terms of some of them. I know a lot of people don't like crosswords because it's just like mixing and matching things together, like mesh, like super robot type of feel, instead of where in the traditional series or traditional anime of Digimon, they just grow with their tamer and don't fuse. They just do what they want to do. Well, I mean, unless you count season one with Omegamon, or even 2020, where they just decide to do it whenever they want, and it's more of a ceremonial thing rather than it being a super strong transformation, except for the final section of the series in 2020. In the original show, they didn't have Omegamon. They waited until Digimon Adventure the movie before they did any of that. Fusing shenanigans against. It wasn't Armageddonmon. It was Diaboromon, if I remember. Again, I sort of can tell the two apart, but I guess Armageddonmon has a couple more legs and was featured in O2 rather than the original movie. And then I guess it was Adventure 02, which I never watched. Well, I watched a little bit of it. I saw the end of it multiple times through AMVs. Digimon Adventure 03. I didn't watch any of it. Again, I watched the ending through AMVs. Then it was, I believe, Data Squad. Data Squad wasn't terrible, but again, I didn't watch much of it, and I don't even know how that ended. But it was one of the first with, dubs that I remember, because it used to be on back in the day on, I think it was Disney, I forget what it was, Kid Disney, I believe it was, or Disney XD. There we go. It was on Disney XD back in 2007, so it had a place in my kid type of watching forte, because I'm still lucky enough to have cable. So when it came to that, it was very good to watch at some points. But then I personally watched crosswords on my own, not episode by episode. I waited until it was finished, and then I watched what's its name, Appley Monsters. The Appley Monsters I enjoyed. I know it's not a traditional Digimon series where it has the the apps do the evolutions, and Globemon is a thing, or Navimon or whatever it's called, Gotchamon. There we go, Gotchamon. But it was fine. I accept it for what it was. I know a lot of people didn't really like it, and then they made a nod towards the original series with Greymon and Metal Greymon. But then they're like, oh yeah, that's right. we have Digimon 2020 coming out soon, but that's not until we finish all of the Try movies. And the Try movies, luckily enough for me, as a Crunchyroll member at the time, got to see the movies literally the week as they came out on Crunchyroll. It was a big deal. I walked home. I didn't walk home, but I got home from work and I was like, oh my goodness, Try is on, like, the movie. And I sat there for 2.5 hours with whatever I had at the time, pizza rolls, which I don't eat anymore, and just chilled and watched it. And it was just an awe. It's just beautiful. Again, it's Try, so Try went on their own little ending with I believe it was Last Evolution Kizuna, and then of course 2020 it came out and finished, and now people are saying that I guess there's a trailer for the O2 movie out somewhere. If someone wants to comment and talk about that, honestly, I don't know if there is one, but hey, you know what? If they want to make an O2 movie, I'll gladly watch it, because again, I didn't watch any of O2 originally, so I won't have any blind nostalgia driving me towards it, while other people might, and if they ruin O2, I guess whatever. Digimon's doing their own thing. I mean, they have Ghost Game going on right now, which is on a 2-week break, which I don't know why. If anybody can specify, please specify, but I have no idea why it's on a break. I really don't. But hey, you know what? That's, I guess, my talk about evolutions and, well, sort of the philosophical thing about it, but mostly spouting nonsense about Digimon. I'm losing topics, unfortunately. I think I have a couple more topics I want to talk about in the coming videos, but besides that, I don't really have ideas. I'm sorry. I guess there was some ideas I was mulling over, but again, you'll see them in the next videos. So again, if you did enjoy this little rant, not rant, but more of a dive into what I know about the Digimon series and, well, my thoughts on evolutions, you can like, comment, sub, and also ring the bell if you so like, because that would indeed get the video out there. And, well, I guess my goal right now, currently, I'm at 271 subscribers. I want to see if we can get to possibly 300 to start. And then I was thinking probably 500 by the end of the year, but hey, we'll never know. So again, did enjoy, like, comment, sub, all that stuff. And thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys later.